And in that split second, the whole Garden of Eden, man's whole existence was turned upside down. She made a decision in a second that has affected us for a lifetime. Now, had she said no, our lives would be much better today. But the fact is, she made a decision. And once you make a decision, you have to live with that decision. Now, you can do one or two things once you make it. You can go, woe is me, I've messed up, crawl under a rock. Or you can understand and accept the mistake and move forward, not making the same mistake again. Amen? So we realized that had she thought about, because you got to remember that God had instructed them. You can have whatever you want, and this entire garden, it belongs to you and to all you possess. But this one tree, you need to stay away from. And in 1 second, their whole world was turned upside down from being naked and not knowing to being naked and wanting to clothe themselves. From being able to live forever to dying. Just 1 second. Genesis 16:2-4 says, so she said to Abram, the Lord has kept me from having children. Go sleep with my maidservant. Perhaps I can build a family through her. Abram agreed to what Sarah said. So after Abram had been living in Canaan 10 years, Sarah, his wife, took her Egyptian maidservant Hagar and gave her to her husband to be his wife. He slept with Hagar, and she conceived. When she knew she was pregnant, she began to despise her mistress. Here you have Abraham and Sarah. God told Abraham to go, and I will make you a father of many nations. The problem is that while Abraham had the faith, sometimes there's a disconnect. Because what we try to do is help God out. Now, I know that you said you was going to make me the father of many nations, and Sarah was waiting for the day because she was barren and unable to have children, and she was getting old in age. And so in a second, she decides to play God. She said, well, look, if I can't give it to you, sleep with my maidservant. Abraham, in a split second, because you got to understand that you can't blame one side without blaming the other side. You know, there's always two sides to a story. Well, even though she was not following God fully, the fact was Abraham could have said, no, that's not how it's going to work. If God told me to leave my country and to move forward, then I believe that God will do what he says on his terms. But you know, a man, he's thinking, hey, okay, I'll sleep with her if it'll make you happy. And then she becomes pregnant, and now the wife is mad. If you just let God have his way, I guarantee you things will unfold the way you want them to. But we're so interested in helping God out. You know why? Because we don't have the same timetable as God. See, I want to be a success, and I want to be a success now. Not tomorrow, not later. I want everything that you promised me, God, but I want it on my terms. You mean that you had enough sense to follow Christ, but not to stay on course. Abraham had enough sense to leave everything he owned or possessed to move out to a place where he did not know where he was going. But when it came to the simple thing of him giving him a seed, they decided to go against God's will. And because of that, they're still fighting brothers